In the next few minutes, we are going to show you a breakthrough piece of technology that's allowing now hundreds of people to instantly outperform Wall Street's top traders, even though they know nothing about trading or don't have any experience about trading. And really what we're going to be showing you is a software that has artificial intelligence built into it. If you know anything about AI, it is changing the game, and it's changing the game for people in their personal finances. Now, we're actually here with Quicksilver, who is the inventor of this amazing piece of technology and is also one of the most brilliant traders that's on the planet today. And I want to tell you a bit about his story. I actually met Quicksilver over a round of golf here in South Florida. And when we started playing golf, I knew that there was something different about this guy, the way that his brain worked and the way that he viewed things. And I actually ended up finding out that he scored 182 on the IQ test, which was the 93rd highest IQ score on the planet. So obviously, what you're going to learn from this gentleman in just a few seconds, his brain works a lot different than the normal person's brain, or like my brain does. And essentially, Dave has a really interesting story. So, Dave, why don't you tell people really quickly about how you came to discover, trading first and your success in trading, then how this software came about?
Sure. I've been trading for a little over 20 years now. And over that time, it wasn't always easy at all. Mm-hmm. There have been losses and losses and losses that I took at the beginning in order to, I mentally I knew my system was good, mm-hmm. but it was lacking. It was lacking at the beginning. And after taking quite a few years of losses, mm-hmm. I actually got to the point where I said, you know what, this just, I've got to analyze things. So I eventually analyzed it, and it came up with a couple of additions to my algorithm. And after the first couple of years, I went 16 years in a row where I tripled my account every single month after that.
Now, hold on. I don't know if you guys heard that, but say that again.
For 16 years in a row, every month I've tripled my account. And the rationale, the whole thing that I've done with my trading system is I've tried to eliminate the best I possibly could, the highest risk trades. And there were always a lot of different things within the market that were the same every time if you put them all together. And eventually I came up with a really great system.
Gotcha.
I started working, a friend of mine, Rob, called me up from Wall Street. He's a Wall Street trader. He works for a hedge fund. It was called Platinum Partners Hedge Fund. He calls me in and he said, Dave, I have an idea. Why don't you've traded for me. You've given me trades and they're always working. I want to see if you wanted to come in and take a shot at this. So they put me in there with some small accounts at first, and I did what I did. I tripled my account. I tripled their account. Mm-hmm. And so then they put me in charge of the New York State Prison Pension Fund, which obviously it's an enormous account, hundreds of millions of dollars. And with that, and I don't know if you know the way hedge funds work, but hedge funds only guarantee a certain amount of money per month to its depositors, and we gave 20% a year to the hedge fund, and of course the hedge fund made the balance. Well, when we're tripling the account every month,
sure,
and we're only giving them 20% per year, clearly the hedge fund is making money.
Sure.
So after a while, I decided, you know what, I just want to do this on my own, take my own money. I think I have the ability to. I started feeling like, okay, I have an idea that we can reach masses and we can really help a lot of people, because if we're only giving 20% to the hedge fund, why not let the people trade their money and let them have the ability to make great money as well?
Sure.
That's a great idea, except in theory, I can't be trading for all of these people.
Right.
So clearly it came up with an idea, create an algorithmic software that uses an artificial intelligence to make smart trades. It's not going to get as many trades as a manual trading system, but it will weed out many of the trades that are suspect.
Sure.
So that's where my thought came in. I was spending too much time sitting in front of a computer, not getting to play enough golf, not getting to go out and do the things I love to do.
Sure.
But now I have the ability to put something out there where the people can actually trade the same style that I do.
Right.
And without having to have any trading knowledge.
Sure. Amazing. So, and the amount of results that we're seeing, I mean, 780 and growing like crazy. That number of customers can't be wrong.
Right.
And if you're part of our results group, I mean, you just see the overwhelming testimonials of the results that the software is getting. So can we actually demonstrate to the people that are watching this video how this actually works in a live backtest?
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a backtest. This is the euro versus the US dollar, the most common pair in the Forex market. This is traded more than any other pair. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a test with $5,000, and it's going to be running for a 1-year period using actual live historic data. This is the real data in the market. The data in the market is actually, if you were to pause it and see the date and the time that it happened, you can go back into any historic company. And if you went to NetDania or you went to Bloomberg and you went to go check the data out yourself, it would be the exact dollar amount of the trade at that time. So this is live data that we're going to be running. So what I'm going to do is run a $5,000 account on the euro US dollar for 1 year, going from September 1st, 2017 to September 1st, 2018, and see how it goes.
All right. Let's go ahead and click start. And what you guys are going to see here is in just a second, we're going to get a visualization of this actually happening. So the market's actually beginning to move, as you can see, and we're going to let this run, and we're actually going to fast forward it towards the end of the year. What's happened here on the test?
What happened is it basically went from $5,000 to $6,891.54. What that means is, it is a nice, that's a very nice return. But beyond what the return is, it goes far beyond that.
And so you guys have an idea, that was nearly a 38% return on investment in a year on one currency pair.
Absolutely.
And it'll trade a minimum of 5 currency pairs. That's what it's trading now. And
exactly.
There's a 6th one coming out and more.
Yeah,
eventually.
Exactly. So it's not trying to win you a fortune on every trade. It gets you small money on each trade. So on this $5,000 account, it may, it's trying to make about $66 on this trade. Now, what's amazing about it is not that it wins.
Yeah.
There are lots of traders that win, not necessarily as high a percentage, but they still win.
Yeah.
What makes this trader different than most is how it handles losses.
Sure.
Every trader loses. And what we try to do is, to give you an idea, Benjamin has an artificial intelligence in it that will make a determination early in the trade whether or not it's going your way or not going your way.
Right.
So what it's doing here is, as you can see at this point right here, it decides that it's not going to win. So it places a hedge trade at this position. So by doing that hedge, it takes the $130 loss, but at the exact same time, it takes $135.66 win. So it hedges the trade. So as this one's getting negative, this one's going positive, and when it reaches 0, it closes out the trade.
Amazing.
So as you're seeing, it's not killing you like it would on a normal on any other trader on the market. Here's one that this is an excellent decision. The artificial intelligence told us right here that it was not going to win this trade, so it made a hedge. It saw immediately that even the hedge wasn't going your way, so it made a second hedge, and it took a loss. It took a loss immediately on the trade of a $319 loss, a $43 loss, but it took a $310 gain. So it took a small loss overall, but it mitigated a lot of the loss and made it something very, very manageable.
Sure.
That isn't going to kill you in the end. Anybody can afford a couple dollar loss, and it's the same thing. There are multiple positions where it was doing the same thing: a 292 loss, a $32 loss, but then a $327 gain.
So
all
a lot
at the same time.
On a lot of the losses, and I've seen this from personal use, it actually will sometimes make you money, or it'll
break
mitigate the risk, or break even.
That's what the thought process behind the artificial intelligence is. I dedicated the time with the artificial intelligence to putting it on the losses, the trades that weren't going as well as they should.
Sure.
And instead of focusing on getting into the trade, I want the AI to be able to say, hey, this is the optimal time to get out of this trade. This is the optimal time to try to break even and cut and run.
Sure.
The fact is that there's never going to be a trader on the market that wins 100% of the trades.
Right.
So that is what my thought was behind creating an AI on the losing.
So let's continue to see. So on the losing trades, we're seeing it break even, but the vast majority, if you keep scrolling down, the vast majority are going to win.
Yeah, it's going to win, on a bad month, and 80% on a terrible month, it'll win 80%.
Right.
On good months, it'll win 90, 92, 93%. So, you're going to win a high percentage. And as you can see by these, all of these are all wins, as it's scrolling down, and I'm scrolling down really fast. There's one that was losing right here, but, a $356 loss, $36 loss, and then a $396 gain.
Right.
So even the losses on Benjamin over the course of this 1 year back test break even.
Sure.
So, there were a couple that had a couple dollar loss and a bunch that had a couple dollar wins, but they're going to more or less break even. So as you're going down, you see the same thing again. 356 loss, 36, $396 gain.
Right.
So over the course of the time, here's, just 169 loss, 173 gain.
Sure.
So each time it takes a loss, the computer and the AI is absolutely working to help you out.
Amazing. And so to put this into perspective, this one currency pair, Euro US dollar, has gained 37.8% in just a single year, which most people would die for this type of return. And you're not going to get that in the stock market, no mutual fund, no index fund. You're never going to see that. And this is just for one currency pair. It'll trade 5 to 6 currency pairs, so you guys start to do the math. And I want to make sure that you understand that this is not a get-rich-quick system. It's not something that's going to make you a millionaire overnight. But over time, yes, this is something that can grow your account substantially. And to give you an idea, if you go to any online compound interest calculator, you can put in the numbers like we'll put up on the screen right now. If you were to only get 10% per month, which is not even half of what we're showing that this software can do, if you only get 10% per month, and say you start an account with $5,000 at 10% per month, if you just let it sit there, and in 60 months or 5 years later, that same $5,000 turns into $1.5 million. Now, obviously, we're not saying that that's guaranteed to happen for you, but this is the story of Pete Patiku, who's one of the other co-owners of Silver Star Live. He started an account with $45,000, and he told me he never got returns of over about 10% in a month. And he grew his $45,000 account into $4.2 million. And this is the power of letting something like this work over time. It's just incredible. So if you're watching this video, artificial intelligence to